Hello there, welcome to another video. Yes, this one's a long one today because we have a lot to get through. As you can see, I am making a new roller coaster. I know, right? Crazy stuff. Another one. Shocking stuff, isn't it? Yes, and this roller coaster is an intimate multi-dimensional one. And it's one of the new ones to this game, like the tilt coaster. I've realised I've basically only done new coaster models in this game, but that's okay, because it's a new game, and I've not experimented with this one much. Well, now I have, because I built it, but other than that, I've not experimented with it much, and it was cool, because I added like drop tracks, switch tracks, loads of stuff. Yeah, we get this. The reason this video is so long is because I wanted to get the entire rest of, like, finishing the Greek mythology area in this video. Although, to be fair, I probably could have split it into 2 videos. And because, yeah, this took a while to do. But I want to keep it as one video because that's what I did. I split my other video where I made Thanatos in 2, and then I didn't really know what to call the second video I made of it, because if I say I finished theming it, then it doesn't have as much, it's not as, like, interesting as saying, oh yeah, I made this entirely new coaster, completely from scratch. Yeah. So yes, that's why this one's one long video. But don't worry, this is probably going to be the longest video in this series. I say that, and then the next video I make is going to be like 5 hours long. I'm joking. It won't. Hopefully. I don't think I'd be able to voice over that. If it was, I would die. Yes, but you can see here I'm adding a drop track, except apparently not, because it's like right near where the station is, but that's okay, because the station gets moved. Spoiler alert. Yeah. See, I told you it gets moved. See, I don't lie, mostly because I have no reason to. But yes, there's a drop track now. Like 13, except this one's slightly less themed at the moment and at the end. You'll see what I mean. Right, so then this is like a sped up POV of the ride. I'm running out of things to talk about already, and we're only 3 minutes into the video. Alright, well, anyway, so yes, here you can see I'm smoothing this new ride, and actually, yes, I should probably say what this ride is going to be themed around. So, if you know, in Greek mythology, one of stories, that doesn't make sense. One of the stories in Greek mythology is about the Labyrinth and the Minotaur inside of the Labyrinth. And then this guy goes into the Labyrinth, and then he kills the Minotaur. Yeah, so that's the story I've gone for with this, that you're going through the Labyrinth, and I've come up with this really original and just amazing name, just so original, you know? I've decided on calling it get ready for this, it is going to be the most original thing you've ever heard on this roller coaster based around the Labyrinth. I have called this ride Labyrinth. I know, right? It's absolutely shocking. Who would have guessed? I know, it's so surprising. Honestly, don't know how I thought of that. It's probably one of the best ideas I've ever had, honestly. You should subscribe just for that name idea that I came up with. Yeah, just ignore all of the rest of the content and only subscribe for that name, because why wouldn't you, you know? Yeah, it's good stuff. Alright, so for this, when I was making this, this is when the new update for Planet Coaster 2 came out. Yeah, I know, which was on December 12th. So, yeah, I was a bit late at uploading this, and since then I've done a lot more work in the park. But, so, yeah, and so I added an offload station right there, and then those like, friction wheel tire things that go back to the station. But it's not a very smooth, it's very, like, you can see, it's quite curvy. But this coaster that I've made, I've managed to get it to run 6 trains, which is quite a lot, because 6, yes, it's more than the other coaster, which can only run one. Yeah, it can only run 1 train. So yeah, it's more than that, funnily enough. Who knew that 6 is more than 1, honestly? That is so surprising. But yes, now the coaster is finished, and I just need to go around and smooth it. Well, I don't need to, I did need to. In this time-lapse, I am smoothing it. And then you can see a glimpse of the POV here, just sped up by 8 times. And then we cut to the queue line, because I don't know why. But this video is a bit like jumping around of different things, because when I was doing the theming to this, you'll see what I mean in a minute, but it was just so tedious, and I got so bored of doing it, so I just had to like work on different things to stop being bored. And then you can see me here adding in a queue line. I know, right? Shocking stuff. And this queue line goes right over the ride, which would have made for some really cool views, except I decided to enclose the whole queue line, so it doesn't do that. But then there's the exit, so that's right next to the queue line, or not right next to it, but kind of near to it. And then once I add the priority queue, which I do, it's just right the way on the other side. And then here you can see the first bit of theming we're adding. Now, yes, I know in Greek mythology the labyrinth was made of, like, not made of hedges, it was made of, like, actual material. But I feel like in most, when people think of the labyrinth, they think of these, like, giant hedge mazes. So that's why that's like that. Yeah. So then I stop working on that temporarily and begin to do the entrance sign, which this does not last long, so don't get attached to it. And I tried to make it so that, like, vines were crawling up it, but that didn't look good, and it was just obscuring the words, so I didn't do that. Instead, I made the letters 3D instead of this 2D lettering that's here. You can see me playing around with calling it Minotaur, however it's pronounced. The giant, like, thingy. Yeah, that's the official name for it. Yeah, the giant bull guy that kills people. Yep, that's definitely what it is. So, yes, as you can see, these vines did not really go well at adding them. I tried to use coral to do it, but it just didn't look right. So, eventually I gave up with this sign and started working on a new sign, which I also tried to add vines to, I think, which still didn't work. But it's okay, because now none of them have vines, so that's fine. Yeah. So, my plans for this ride, well, what I've done with this ride is, you'll probably see it in a few minutes, is that those hedges, they become just a tad bit smaller, only a tiny bit. You might see it now. They're only a tiny bit smaller, not smaller, larger. Yes, they're only a tiny bit taller. Yep, only a small amount. And then, yeah, this ride keeps breaking though, because I have the minimum departure interval set to 25 seconds, but, and it's on 6 trains, but sometimes when I load the game, it just resets it to 2 seconds, and, I don't know why, so, yeah. But at least it means that normally there's always a train waiting behind the other train, so there's only a 25-second wait in between each ride, which I could probably make it faster if I do less trains, which I might do, because, yeah, I might, like, rework it a bit later to have less trains, maybe. And then you can see me adding more hedges here. That is a really long queue right there. And then it also, the priority pass entrance, because I added that to this one, is very close to the entrance to Thanatos. But I didn't actually add a priority pass entrance to Thanatos. I forgot to do it, and I don't think there's, like, enough room to add one now. I might do. Maybe, but I'd have to, like, go all the way round, and yeah, that definitely makes sense. But yeah, I'd probably have to go up quite a lot to do that. Oh yes, you can see the hedges are quite a lot taller now, like I said. So yeah, and we do that all the way around the ride. I was originally going to make it so that the whole track was, like, encased in these, so, like, every, like, piece of track would have it directly next to it on both sides. But I decided not to do that, because that would take too long, and also Console Edition of Planet Coaster has a little percentage counter in the corner. It's my worst enemy, that percentage counter. Because if it wasn't there, I could make a lot more detailed stuff. So, yeah, I think Frontier should definitely increase the percentage counter, at least for, yeah, I think they should, because, it's not very nice, that counter. It's very harsh, like, it only lets you place, like, 70,000 pieces or so, and I know that some people who don't have the percentage counter probably would just spend that long on the entrance of their park. And also, I've seen some other YouTubers that play on console, with a lot more subscribers than I have, but, yeah, one of them made a video, I can't remember who it was, but they made a video about the percentage counter, and basically they figured out that their device that they used, I think it was a PS5, could run up to, like, 500% without being laggy, so they could easily, I'd be happy if they just doubled the percentage counter, honestly. But yeah, if they could get it to be times it by 5, that would be nice as well. And here I'm making, like, a little temple thing because I don't know, I felt like I needed a, like, temple thing. It's not really a temple thing though. It's just like an odd little building with a turntable in it. I don't think I've talked about this ride too much, but it's got 2 switch tracks, a drop track, and a turntable in it. So it's got quite a lot of different elements like that. Yeah, and it goes backwards for like a lot of the ride too. Although it is quite a short ride. I could have probably made it longer, but I didn't, obviously. So, yeah. And then here you can see that I'm adding hedges around it, because I don't know why I didn't just do normal walls, but oh well. But also those hedges, like, line the path there. The track there that's, like, below it, sort of. So, yeah, that's why that's there. And then I also increased the height, is what I think I'm doing now. Yeah, I can predict the future. This is great stuff. And then you can see I've made the hedges smaller, because I originally have them on the 200% scale, because it's to make them bigger so they take up more space, and I have to use less hedges to cover the same amount of area. But for some of them I have to, like, I've shrunk down the hedges just because they were either too big or they weren't getting enough detail, you know? So I've done that. And I think the finished product of this ride looks quite cool. I'm quite happy with it. Although if I had more time and more percentage, because that's a big problem, if that was just a tad bit more lenient, I probably would have added more in between to, like, fully line the hedge and stuff, the track. And here you can see I'm adding stuff onto the ride. Yes, I've got, like, little Minotaur heads on the back of the trains, and even on the front of the first train, and even the ride's slogan, which says "Brave the Maze." I know, very, very original. Yeah, because the name of the ride is the Labyrinth, and it's themed around that. And I'm also changing the colour to be brown, and, like, I tried to make it golden to match the Minotaur head on the front, but that, I think it's a bit too bright for that, and also not shiny enough, but that's okay. And then this part, this project takes a while. Obviously, that's why this video is like 50 minutes long, 52 minutes. Hopefully at least one person watches the whole thing. If not, then oh well, I guess. I don't know. So yes, if you do watch the whole thing, thank you very much. It's very helpful. And yeah. Also, you should subscribe to my YouTube channel, because I want subscribers. As most people are like, if you enjoy the content, subscribe. But no, subscribe because I want subscribers. Yep, that is definitely a reason why you should subscribe. Right this instant. Do it now. Or, I don't know, something will probably not happen. But who knows, it might happen. So subscribe, and then you can stop that from happening. Alright. Then, so now I'm adding a hedge as, like, the floor of this. I don't know why. But yeah, it's being used as a floor. Probably because the grass texture, it's more like a stone texture because it's on the side of a cliff. But yeah, the texture it originally didn't go well. I could have probably got away with painting it like grass and making it like that, but it doesn't have the same 3D effect that the hedge does, and it looks a bit 2D because it is. So yeah, here I'm just adding more to the ride, because this ride takes a while. Okay, if I'm probably gonna run out of things to talk about, because it's basically just me placing hedges everywhere. I don't think I talked about this, but I made the track green to blend in with the green. Yes, that made no sense. It blends in with the hedges. No, it doesn't blend. Well, it does blend in with the green, but it blends in with the hedges is what I was trying to say. So yes, and then here you can see I start work on the switch track area, unless I don't do that. Well, I think I do. I might do it a bit later though, but I think it's now. But yes, this one I also made a kind of like into like a temple type thing. So yeah, that's yeah. I don't know where I was going with that, but yeah, it's like a temple thing with a Minotaur animatronic in it that, as it's reversing from the switch track, charges towards the riders and then like smashes down just after it like clears the area. I think I may need to make it a bit slower, because I think it goes forward a bit too fast, and like the front of the car, the train, the roller coaster vehicle thingy would probably get crushed, which we don't want. So yeah, but you can see me adding a sliding door in here as well. I also need to change that, because you'll see in the POV later, but you kind of clip through the door, which it's not meant to happen. The door's meant to open in time. Unfortunately, you can't scale these animatronics, so the like moving doors and stuff, but that would be really helpful if you could. So yeah, I'm devastated that you can't. But anyway, I should probably talk about the reason why this video is taken so long to be released, because as of recording this voiceover, I finished this like about like 2 weeks ago, but I just got, or not 2 weeks ago, more like 1 week ago, but I just got too distracted by like I got too distracted by building other parts of the park, and I've already like almost finished a whole other area. We completely finished the Greek area in this video, but I've also added since then an entirely new area with 2 roller coasters already. One of them is fully themed, and the other one is almost fully themed. So yeah, I may put some like, I don't know how long it will take for that next video to come out. Probably after I've done my next water park video, or I might do a different video first instead, like maybe another Planet Coaster challenge or something. Maybe something a bit different to that though. I might instead do like one talking about real theme parks instead of ones that don't exist, because most people probably don't care about theme parks that don't exist, because they don't exist. So yeah, I don't know what I could do though. And also those videos where I do talk about real theme parks, because there's one on my channel, but yeah, that video took me a while to edit, because I had to add all the different clips of that of the different roller coasters and stuff. But hopefully now I have some of the clips of, well, at least a few roller coasters, then it shouldn't be too hard to do. But yeah, so I might make another one of those soon. But I also might make another one of these videos, because I do enjoy making these, and they're also really easy to make. It makes me sound lazy, but well, yeah, I am lazy, so that makes sense. That's why it makes me sound lazy. And then I also may do another video like the one I made a few days ago where I made Hyperia longer. It wasn't a very realistic layout, and also probably a bit repetitive because it mostly went into helixes and stuff. So yeah, I might do another one of those with a different ride, maybe. I probably will do another one on a different ride eventually at some point, and maybe even like fully retheme it, because I saw a video the other day by another person where they made Rita. They like rethemed Rita and turned it into an Intamin Blitz, I think, which was cool. I haven't watched the whole video, but it looks cool. So I might do something similar to that, but obviously with a different ride, because I don't want to copy them, because that's just not nice. But yes, you can see I'm adding fire in there. Oh, well, I was, not anymore, clearly. But yeah, I would have added the flamethrowers instead of just the fire jets, because I feel like the flamethrowers look more realistic, and the fire jets, I don't really like how they look. But the flamethrowers are just so tall for no reason. Like, they should probably be shrunk down by a lot. Right, here you can see I'm working on a shop. Yes, I wanted to have a Greek market area here, which I was going to do anyway, but the other day my friend also suggested it. So I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. So yeah, I'm gonna give credit to him, even though I thought of it first. But yes, I'm giving credit to my friend for coming up with this idea. This sign, I don't know how it's pronounced, but it means vegan food in Greek, and I would try to pronounce it, but I don't know if Greek pronunciation of letters is different, because they use a different alphabet. But this is just in the Latin alphabet that I've written this with a Greek font. But yes, this is a Viva la Vegan shop, which is a new shop in this game, which, funnily enough, sells vegan food. I was originally going to add like an entire menu to this, but I didn't because I didn't want to. It took too long to like find stuff to write on the menu that was Greek and vegan, and I just couldn't be bothered to add all the prices in and stuff. So I still left it there, but it just says menu. So yeah, you can just imagine there's writing on the menu, you know? Just use your imagination. And then I start working on the top of this building and adding some windows. Yeah, I think I wanted to go for like a really Mediterranean feel with this, and like Greek market, because it is a market set in a Greek themed area, so that makes sense, you know? But yeah, so I also added this little like shop that would be placed outside of someone's house, where they'd either make the stuff inside their house, or like they just have stuff being sold just outside of their house to make quick money, is the sort of vibe I was going for there. And I've also decided to add a gold roof to this one to give it some variation and stuff, you know? And then there's a door behind them, because there's no point having a house if there's no entrance to them. Although this park is like going for, this is kind of a side note, but although this park is going for like mostly realistic, there's like, it is like implied realism, you know? I don't want it to be fully realistic, I just want it to look nice, you know? So I'm not adding like maintenance stuff to rides and like transfer tracks and stuff, because I don't want to do that, because that's just, I don't know, I don't like doing it, because it's not even functional within the game, so there's not really any point. Oh, you can see the new entrance. Okay, never mind. That entrance sign is gone now. That's tragic. You saw it for like a split second. It said Labyrinth with like in different shades of green with chains on it. I don't know what the chains would have represented, but you know, they're still there. Respect the chains, you know. What am I waffling on about? But yes, there's another shop there. I can't remember what this one sells, but I wanted to add like a canopy there, but decided not to, as it would block the view of the main entrance for the Labyrinth ride, so I didn't do that. Although it looks a lot like I'm going to do it, but I don't. See, I told you. Okay, now that entire shop is gone, apparently. I didn't realise I removed that shop. Well, oh well. I guess it's no longer here. Whoa. Why is it gone to, like, really sped up again? I don't know. But oh well. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with the really fast speed. Alright, so I added a hot dog squad here to make a hot dog squad, and I came up with a really original name of it for it, right? I'm just really good at coming up with original names, as you'll be able to tell by this series, right? I've called this shop, get ready for it, it's so shocking, it's called Hot Dogs of Olympus. I know, right? Such an original name. Like, I don't even know how I thought of it, but it's such a unique and original name. Like, who would have guessed that it's in a place called Mount Olympus and it sells hot dogs, you know? It's crazy stuff, honestly. You can see me adding the sign here. This took a while because it wasn't like linking up. There was just like not enough space, as you can probably see here. I really like how this font that I'm using, the coaster font, has like if you do the sign in capital in full capital letters with the first letter being a bit bigger, I really like the effect that gives. I don't know what it's called though, but it looks cool. That's what I'll call it. Cool effect. Yeah, great stuff. Alright, well, here I'm adding another building. This one is very fit for a Greek area. It sells sushi. I know, right? So Greek. And yeah, definitely Greek. But yes, I added a canopy to this one to make it more shaded, and this is probably the one where I worked the least on the actual shop front, but I'm probably gonna go back and improve it later. But yeah, it is just the canopy with the stand there, and then I added a door to it, but once I added it I realized it had a fire effect, so yeah, you can see it there. So I just decided to keep it there, and that's what's cooking the sushi, even though sushi is raw fish. But you know they cook the fish now. It's cooked sushi. Yeah. So now I add, I think, 2 or 1 or 3, a few more shops. Yep, that's great. I don't remember what this shop is, but I'll probably find out soon. It's a very odd shape, but yeah, it's very shop-shaped, you know? Yeah, so I wanted this area to have a sort of small market feel. Like, I wanted the streets to be quite thin in it and not big, Oh, I remember, this is a gulpy soda thing, because it says Labyrinth soda. I called it that because it's next to the Labyrinth. Honestly, I told you I'm great at coming up with original names. Honestly, it's one of my strong suits. You should all just subscribe to see even more original names. Trust me, it's so original. Like, it's gonna get so much better from here, trust me. And that one's not, I'm actually being serious with that. It does, the names do get better, whether you believe it or not. But that's just because I ask ChatGPT for the names now. So I also did that with Thanatos. So yeah, if the name sounds unoriginal and just like named after like one very specific thing, like Labyrinth is named after the Labyrinth and it's quite self-explanatory what it is, then I probably came up with it myself. But if it's got another name, like Thanatos, which has got a deeper meaning because it's like the son of Hades who would take people down to the underworld and stuff, it's got, then that's definitely not my ideas, so I will not take credit for them. But yeah, so here I'm adding a toilet, and yeah, it's a very basic one, but I do add this nice little overhead shade thingy to add shade, because it gets quite hot in Greece. I don't think it actually gets too warm there. It's probably less than 100 degrees Celsius, obviously. But yes, here we come on to adding another ride. I know, right? 3 rides in one area, but except this one's not a coaster, it's a flat ride. Yeah, there wasn't that much space in this area though to add it, so eventually I do rework the path so that the ride goes in the back area and it's sort of off the edge of the cliff, kind of. Not really, but like sort of like that, you know? It's like but yeah, one of the things with this game is that the bases of the flat rides are so large and they have no reason to be that big. Like they don't need to be that big. The ride I end up adding is this, no, apparently not, is this Topspin here. And yeah, I for some reason get rid of those trees. Oh yeah, it's so that I can make it a bit wide. I make the cliff a bit wider. And here is the queue. I wanted to make it go quite close to like the actual ride itself, but it ended up being quite far away. But that's okay. I edit the queue so it's less like that. I might do it in a minute. But yeah, the pathway entrance into the other path, that made no sense. But yeah, that was a bit hard to do. And then I think this shot right here is quite cool because it's like looking down, and it really, I like it. I'm proud of it. But yes, here you can see the flat ride. I eventually add a color scheme to it and give it a name. Okay, apparently I don't do that and I start working on the hedge again. But yeah, I did cut out a lot of recording of this hedge because it is just a lot of the same. So yeah, if I kept it all in, this video would probably be like 5 hours long, which I don't want it to be, but that's okay. There's only like 12, oh gosh, there's only like 12 minutes left in this video. So if you manage to get this far, then congratulations, you get an award for dealing with my boring voice for this long. Or you could just be watching this on mute and you're just interested in the building process. You know what, that probably fair enough, that makes sense. But yeah, I might make this video. No, I won't do that. But yeah, So this, what am I on about now? I'm just making a bunch of random words, saying a bunch of random words. But anyway, yes, this ride, I didn't want it to be like fully themed and have a story to it or anything, because it doesn't have a story to it. It's very lightly themed. You can see it spinning a lot there. So yeah, I changed the cycle so that all it was is just those flips for some reason. But then I add the name of the ride to the actual ride, which I think is quite cool. And I've decided to call this ride Terrace, because that means monster in Greek. And it's got nothing to do with monsters, but I decided to call it that because it sounded cool. And it's not got a story to it or anything. I've just decided to call it that for literally no reason. I probably could have added one onto the back there. You see where that like when it turns over and is fully flipped, the name is completely upside down. So I might add one onto the back there. Here I'm doing the entrance sign. And yeah, I think I like this entrance sign. It's very like small, and it shows that the ride is like quite small and stuff. There's very light theming around, you know? It's not meant to be themed. It's meant to be stylized, I guess, because it's just meant to be loosely Greek theme. But here I'm adding these fences around this area, and I decide to add golden fences because why not? So yeah, I think they look cool though, because obviously we can't not have the fences, because otherwise guests would just be probably there'd be a risk of the guests just walking through and accidentally into ride areas, which we can't have, because that's not good. But here you can see I'm adding the name to this ride, which I've decided to, well, I've already said what it's called like 5 times. But yes, this ride, Labyrinth. I probably should colour the like names, because at the moment it's white, which looks really odd. Yeah, but oh well, it's fine. I'll deal with it. I might change it later. But yeah, I also do add some signs around that are like main entrance, staff only, and priority pass queue, except that is too much writing to put onto one sign, so I change it to just be priority queue or priority entrance or something. Yeah, priority queue, and then this one main queue, and the other one is staff only. I don't know if that's there yet, but I think we're going to go into real time in like a minute maybe or 2, so then I'll show you around that, you know. But yeah, I'm just adding the fences all the way around right now. I got scared for a minute there because I saw it was into first person view, and I thought that the real time thing had already started, and I just forgot to slow that down. But no, that hasn't happened yet, so that's good. And also I did remember to slow it down, I hope, because if I didn't, that would be really awkward. But yes, I decided not to do custom fences around any of the queue lines, because that's too much effort, you know. It's too much, honestly. Who has time for that? Well, I clearly have time to encase an entire ride in hedges, but don't, that doesn't count, okay? I think we're about to go into the real time soon, once I add railings to this or something. I don't know, I'll be able to see. Oh yes, this is the queue line editing I was talking about, where I edit the queue line. Yeah, that's quite self-explanatory. But yeah, this was really awkward to do though, because there's just a bunch of times when the queue line just didn't want to work, which is really annoying. But I managed to get it to work eventually, and here we are in real time. Yes, this is the Mount Olympus entrance sign, as you can see. with the giant Poseidon statue. He looks a bit silver in this light, actually. But yes, let's go forwards. Staff are trying to access a staff building that is at full capacity. There is no staff building anywhere. But as you can see, you go in and you have this amazing view. I really do like this view, actually. And you can see the tilt track is tilting on Thanatos. You can't really see the writing there that says the underworld awaits, so I might have to make that a bit brighter. But you can also see if once it goes down, if it wants to go down any time now. Ah, there we go. You can see the flamethrowers. They work. And I may as well start by going over to the market, and that's the Thanatos entrance. But we already did that. I've already shown a POV of that, so I won't go in there. I won't go in there. Turn around, please. Thank you. Alright, now then. Yes, this market, and you can see the Labyrinth sign. It's kind of hard to see the full name of it, so I might have to make it slightly smaller. But yes, you can see these shops, which look really cool. And I think I need to change the time because that sun is not helping. But yeah, there we go. That's better. Yes, you can see these shops and stuff. Menu. There's nothing in there, but that's okay. No one will notice that. But yes, that is the vegan shop. There's the sign to it. I'm really happy with that sign, like the shadow effect it has. This shop sells sun cream. So yeah, it's a sun cream shop that sells sun cream. And if we come over here, we have the Labyrinth soda, obviously named after the Labyrinth ride there. What was that flash? Oh well. And it sells soda, funnily enough. I really like the little shade things, the cloths that give shade at the top. And then here, this part's really cramped, which I think has a nice atmosphere to it. Probably wouldn't be good if we have like 50,000 guests or something. But yes, here's the little shop that sells slushes. And then we have sushi shop. The entrance over here. Oh, this one's really popular. Loads of guests over here. It's that guest standing inside the counter. Well, that is great. You can see the fire there of the sushi, which definitely needs cooking, clearly. There's the toilet. Then if we come over here, we have the flat ride, which is spinning a lot. And you can see the name there, Terrace. Yeah, I like this ride a lot. It has a really nice, calm vibe to it. Except it's really loud and is spinning a lot and not very calm. But I think I like the colour scheme of it. And then, yeah, I won't POV that because it's a flat ride and you can probably just recreate that in your own park by just placing down that flat ride. So yeah, unless you don't have Planet Coaster, but you can probably see what it does, so there's no point POVing it. But yes, let's go into the main queue. Actually no, the priority queue is shorter, isn't it? Oh well, that's too far away. We'll go in here, so you can see the full effect of what a normal non-priority pass guest would have. And then, yeah, you can see the, I don't know what I'm going to put there, but I'll put something there. And then as we go down this queue line, you can see that it's got nice natural light coming in, but also still shade from the very tall hedges either side of it. But that's okay. And then we go completely under the shade because there's hedges above it as well. And there's also apparently a hedge in the path. So I'm going to have to remove that later. But yes, let's keep going into the sunlight and then down a few steps. Oh, there's a gap there, so I'll need to fix that. Oh, there's another gap there, Right, and another one. Oh my gosh, how many gaps does there want to be? Right, I'm gonna need to fix that. I say that and then I probably won't. But anyway, yes, we're almost at this ride. So let's ride Labyrinth. Yes, okay, let's ride. Enjoy the ride.